Thanks for joining us again today on the Pathless Path. Today, we're going to be diving into building self trust, daily practices for intuitive decision making.
Trusting your gut isn't some elusive gift. It's a practice you can build.
You're listening to the Pathless Path. We're two women figuring it out as we go. This isn't about perfection.
It's about staying rooted in truth, not trends, and having the conversations most people avoid.
We'll share four simple rituals that help you tune in and lean on that first yes or no.
Walk us through your morning check in. What questions do you ask yourself first?
Mornings are pretty uh I got my routine for mornings. So mornings really the first thing I do is having to like take care of the girls. But after I've done that and like got myself some coffee to start the day and everything, I like to pay attention to the color I've chosen to put on. That's something that I really resonate with, or that's part of my ritual that I do on mornings, and just sit in silence and find out exactly what I'm supposed to be working on today. Like what's the lesson I'm supposed to be taking in today? And I always find that it relates to the color, my color choice. So if I decide to put on a blue shirt, I'm like, okay, so am I having issues with speaking and voicing my truth? So is that something that I need to be working on today? It always corresponds with maybe I'm interacting with a customer that day and I'm going to take a lesson from them out of their book. So that's kind of how I deal with my mornings. How about you?
Yeah, so I found that interesting because I don't do that on a daily basis, the color picking, but I do pay attention to how I'm feeling if I'm going out, or I do pay attention to the colors that I'm wearing. I'm like, okay, today am I feeling whatever type of way, and then I'll match my color to that. So that's interesting, but I do that when I go out. I don't pay attention to it the way that you do, where you're like, oh, okay, like what lesson am I supposed to learn? But I'm going to try that because I think that that's important. So a I'll give that a shout next time. So for me, my morning routines are basically the first thing I kind of do, and I know I shouldn't be, but I do check my time on my phone. And then actually before I check my phone, I lay in bed. I don't get up right away. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, okay, is it really time to get up or not? And then what I do is that I sit with myself during that quiet time, during that morning time, and I ask myself, what is the thing that I need to get done right now? Like, what is my body craving right now? Is it craving for me to move? Is it craving for me to work out? Is it craving for me to dance? Is it craving for me to just sit in a meditation, journaling? Is it, or do I need to smoke my patcho? Do I need to put an incense? Like, what is my body asking me to do right now? Because I want to honor my inner child that wants to wake up and she wants to feel that. I want to honor that. That's my first like ask myself thing. And then from there I check my phone and then just to see what time it is so I know like how to structure my day after that. And then the other walkthrough is I will make my tea. I'll make my hot water to brew my tea and my lemon with water, and I start my day with that. And then after that, take a shower and then start my day with work and everything. So that is usually like my first few steps in the morning. And since I work from home, I usually tend to be very relaxed. I don't get to put on clothes because I don't need to go out to do the work. But if I when I do go out, I pay attention to the colors I wear, like the mood that I feel, the colors that I wear, and all of those stuff. So yeah. So let me ask you this. How does 2 minute breath pause, or like breath work, help you clear the clutter in your mind?
Well, that's a good one because I use that religiously. Um, I'm in customer service, so every once in a while, I really do need to like step away and take a breath, um, because it helps you kind of like realign yourself because you've had to deal with something uh that really took you out of who your like your natural self, your natural being, in that vibration, that frequency that you're trying to keep yourself in. And when you kind of like step away, you and breathe, it makes it, although it's like a small ritual, it has big power in it, like reclaiming that. um I love like stepping away and just taking a breath for myself. Sometimes I light an incense and just get the senses going again. Take a deep breath in, reground myself, let and also kind of remember that everybody's going through something and that has nothing to do with you. You just happen to be the person that was there and present during that time. So again, sometimes it's holding space for that person, and it could be a lesson learned as well. Um, so that's how like taking a pause for myself really helps to realign and continue to like be focused on the day and tasks that need to like get taken care of.
Yeah,
How do
I agree.
you deal with that?
I agree. I love taking a breath, not a 2 minute long, a lot longer than 2 minutes. 2 minutes is powerful, but I'm on like 15 minutes, maybe an hour sometimes, where depends how triggered I am. I feel like it depends how someone, something, myself made me feel. Like, did I let myself down? Did somebody trigger me? Did something happen where I feel like I just need to like have a break, have a break to pause and really breathe in. But I love disconnecting. I call that my disconnect moment where I just go within and I'm like, okay, I'm like, why did this trigger me? Why did this make me feel X, Y, and Z way? Why did that person make me? Is there something in me that the person is mirroring and therefore it's triggering me? And so I need to work on that. What is it that they're doing that's triggering me? And so I start going into these practices. I start going into this modalities of and this modalities of really like understanding the self work that I'm working on. And I guess maybe this is happening more to a deeper level now because I've been working so much with healing myself, but so much with medicine as well. And medicine makes you really like go deep with yourself, not just the bypassing and this the superficial level, but like going deeper and deeper and constantly peeling off that onion, constantly peeling off that layer. Yeah, I got triggered. Okay, but why did I get triggered? Is it the tone that is on the voice, or is it what was said? Was it the mannerism? Like what was it, right? And then you get to that. Once you figure that out, then you're like, is it because the way he's acting is like? So then you start diagnosing it, not diagnosing because I don't like that using that word, but like then you start really going into what the root cause of it was, and I feel like that helps me to like disconnect. But at the same time, when I'm so triggered, sometimes I'm like, I just need to not think about it. And so, breath work or frequency meditation or shaman music really helped me ground myself to be like, okay, I will get to this later. I don't need to get triggered again. This is triggering me. I need to put it aside for now. I need to calm down, breath work, meditate. And once I'm calm enough that I can be like, you know what? It's his problem or it's their problem or it's whatever and it's not me. And I'm like, okay, cool. Then I can go back to my day to day.
What role does a short walk in nature play when you're weighing options out?
I love it. When I'm weighing options out, I love being in with nature. I feel really connected. It doesn't matter if it's just, anything nature, water, forest, anything. But what really helps me to put my thoughts together when I'm really thinking of a thing or frustrated or whatever is cleaning my house. I know it sounds completely bizarre to some people, but cleaning my house as I'm organizing and filing and doing all of those things really helps me to be like, okay, is this a priority? Is this, and I start questioning everything. And I think that really helps me when I am in a weighing situation where I need to weigh the pros and the cons, or how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that. How about you?
For me, well, I love a good walk. I really do. I enjoy a good walk, especially with my weight loss journey and stuff. But um I- those are the walks that I had mentioned a little bit earlier about the fact that those are like my silent walks when I really kind of go deeper into it. It I'm able to think because there's that silence, and I've shut my brain off from thinking about other things. And then as I'm looking at different things and seeing people driving their cars, I'm seeing people working out, I'm looking at all the animals, and then all of a sudden I start getting this flood of information of how I would like to like the other day we were working on our bios, right, for the website, and I could not for the life of me put pen to paper to figure something out. So of course I was like, all right, ChatGPT, what can I what's like the core information I would need in order to like build this bio for it. And I came up with a couple of things and it just wasn't resonating with me. I was like, it wasn't flowing. And I took a walk and all of a sudden it was like, this is how you should phrase it. This is how you should structure it. So I did like some quick voice notes so that I would remember it in that time. And then I put pen to paper again and got it all nice and structured. So when I disconnect from everything, where I'm not watching, there's nothing going on in the TV, I'm not talking to someone else or like confiding to like get their insight, I'm really relying on my intuition on how that is going to help me make something better. So whenever I have something that's weighing on me, disconnecting from everything else and taking that walk so that my mind can just decompress, and filter through everything to better understand it. It's just really beneficial for me.
Totally. Yeah, I think of the times that I have things on my mind and I go take a walk and I just feel much better. I just feel like, what was I worried about again?
Yeah,
Like, why did I take that walk for? Like, oh yeah, that's right, because I was mad or I had something in my mind or whatever the thing may be that's in my mind that's preoccupying my mind, which shouldn't be preoccupied in my mind, right? It should be like everything is easy flowing and going and growing. And I also feel like sometimes just laying in bed doing absolutely nothing, no phone, no computers, no sound, no nothing, just sitting there or laying there by yourself and listening to yourself and listening to your body and scanning your body and be like, okay, my body's twitching over here and doing that. What does that mean? I think that that's like really listening to yourself, like literally listening to yourself.
yeah,
Like, what does it mean to listen to yourself? Because your body is constantly communicating with you. Your body is sending you signals all the time. Are you listening? You're
yeah,
listening because you're feeling pain, but I promise you, if you listen harder and before the pain arise, you would have not had that pain before. So, yeah, you just listen to your body. It's constantly communicating with you on the yes or no's and the things you should or shouldn't do. And I think that's important. So To follow up on the other question that I have for us and our listeners, what journal prompts or prompt do you use each evening to review how well you followed your intuition?
I mean, I don't think I do it every day because, life is life and things happen. But I think it's the same thing that we had talked about in a previous conversation where, like we make that to-do list and stuff. So just jotting down a couple of things about what happened that day and how that made you feel, or how you could what you could have done better, or if you were faced with this situation again, what it, what's the outcome you're looking for and how can you achieve that. um I think it's about learning to like listen to your own inner voice as well. So just like how you said you have to listen to your body, what your body is saying. So what are you trying to say? What are you trying to accomplish? How are you trying to have like this day progress, or making sure that you don't run into that kind of like a further situation? what a what kind of prompts you? What do you use?
Okay, so for me, journal prompts, I don't, journaling is a tool that I use, but I do not use the journaling every day. As I said before, I listen to my body, what my body needs. And if today is journaling, today we're journaling. I can go months without journaling, and then there's months that I can't stop journaling. So it really depends on how my body is feeling and what I need to release and let out. So that question is a little bit difficult for me to answer because I don't, like I said, I don't really have a journal prompt and I don't use it every evening. If I use a journal, if when I'm journaling, I typically journal in the morning. And when I do review, I don't review it. Once it's written in my journal in the morning, it's written and I won't see it until the next day if I continue to journal the next day. So it's not like I'm out here reviewing it and be like, oh my God, did this was gonna happen today? Like, no, I don't do that. I don't because I don't feel I I don't know. I don't feel, and maybe I should now because this question makes sense, especially if you're trying to learn or grow into your intuition. But I already have mine in a way, and that doesn't mean I can't get it from other places, right? But I feel like because I already have my intuition that's there and I can listen to it already, I feel like I don't need to jot it down on a journal and then go back and review it to be like, did I listen to my intuition? Because I already know I'm listening to my intuition. So, this is not to sound like condescending. This is not to sound anything. This is just to say that like, I will give this a try. I will write down in my journal moving forward, and I will write down what I feel and see if my intuition is speaking to me the way I think it is, and see what arises from that. I think I'm pretty in tune with the things that are happening already. I'm pretty well tapped in. Could I be more? Absolutely. But I would probably use this question for somebody who's new, somebody who's trying to learn to listen to themselves, is what I would say to them to do. Like, this is an exercise I would have you do. Like, absolutely journal, write things down, and see how well you were able to listen and follow your intuition. But when you're like you and I, and we've been doing this for, we've been in the spiritual world for a long time, and we got a lot of ass kicking that led us to, we are now listening to intuition because guess what, it's speaking so loudly that when we do it we get our ass kicked and we know what it feels like and it's not fun.
It's not.
And yeah, so I feel like That would be a good exercise to do if you're new or you're trying to, you feel like you're already feeling things, but you're not sure. You think it's like your gut, but then your gut is your intuition, or you feel like it's a coincidence. It's not a coincidence, honey. It is a synchronicity. Synchronicities are intuitions, are things that you've already manifested and things that are about to happen and things that are in the way of happening. So there's a lot of that already. Yeah, what do you think about that?
I
On what I
mean,
just said?
yeah. So I mean, like when it comes to intuition and it is like how you're saying, it, this is like a good situation for a newcomer, someone starting to start their process, their journey. For us, and it's it is so true because if I don't listen, then I get shouted at and it's very loud, and I'm just like, I hear you, I understand, and I know I didn't pay attention, and now this is what I'm dealing with. I get it, thanks a lot. um
Don't you just love when that happens?
it's,
You're like, I know. Let me
you're
go
just like,
now.
right, and you feel like you're like shouting into the abyss. I get it, okay, loud and clear, thank you very much.
Or like, don't you love it when you talk to yourself and people are like, "Who you talking to?" And you're like, "Myself. I'm having a reunion with myself with my employees. Leave me the fuck alone."
100%. Oh my god.
Like this happens to me all the time, and they're like, "Who you talking to?" I'm like, "You don't need to know. It's myself. Me, myself, and I.
Exactly.
It's an
This is a
employee meeting.
team
Leave me alone."
meeting.
Yeah,
This is a team
meeting.
meeting. And sometimes Spirit comes in. It's a team meeting.
Spirit, you're not welcome unless you're part of the team. Oh, but wait, but you are.
So, guys, the way I want to leave you with this information is to pick one of these rituals today. So, morning check ins with yourself, breath pauses, or even a walk in nature. And notice how it shifts your confidence.
So please drop us a note or tag us in a story on Instagram, obviously, to let us know how it goes
Stay weird.
and stay wild.
If this episode helped you sharpen your inner compass, please leave a review so others can find these tools.
And share it with someone who's learning how to trust themselves. Till the next time.
That's it for today. If something hits home, share it or just sit with it.
Follow the show. We've got more coming soon.